My boyfriend promised to marry me. Then he left. When I told him I was pregnant. When I told my boyfriend, Mason, that I was pregnant, I thought he would be surprised. I never expected him to disappear. We had been together for 3 years. Mason was not perfect, but he made me feel safe. He talked about our future all the time. He said we would get married one day. He said we would buy a house with a small garden. He even joked that our future daughter would have my eyes and his smile. So when I saw the positive pregnancy test, I cried. Not because I was scared, because I thought our future was finally beginning. I planned everything carefully. I bought a small gift box and placed the test inside it. I wrote a note that said, "Our little family is growing." That evening, Mason came to my apartment after work. He looked tired, but he smiled when he saw me. "What's this?" he asked, holding the box. I watched his face as he opened it. At first, he looked confused. Then he saw the pregnancy test. His smile disappeared. For a few seconds, he said nothing. I waited for him to hug me. Instead, he placed the box on the table and stepped back. "You're pregnant?" he asked. I nodded, suddenly nervous. "Yes, I know it's unexpected, but we can figure it out together." Mason ran his hand through his hair. "This can't be happening," he said. My heart started beating faster. "What do you mean?" "I'm not ready for this." I tried to stay calm. "Neither am I," I said. "But we love each other. We'll find a way." He looked at me with fear in his eyes. Then he said the words that changed everything. "I can't do this, Ava." I stared at him. "Can't do what?" "This relationship, this baby, any of it." I thought he was panicking. I thought he needed time. But the next morning, he did not answer my calls. By the end of the week, he had blocked my number. He blocked me on every social media account. It was like he had erased me from his life. I spent days sitting on my couch, staring at my phone. I kept thinking he would call. I kept thinking he would say he was sorry, but he never did. A month later, I found out from a mutual friend that Mason had moved to another city. He did not even say goodbye. At my first doctor appointment, I went alone. The waiting room was full of couples holding hands. Some were laughing, some were nervous, some were looking at baby clothes on their phones. I sat there with my hands in my lap, trying not to cry. When the doctor showed me the first ultrasound, I heard my baby's heartbeat. It was tiny and fast. And somehow, in that moment, I stopped feeling completely alone. I placed my hand on my stomach and whispered, "It's okay. I'm here." Pregnancy was not easy. There were days I felt sick, exhausted, and terrified. There were nights I worried about money. I worried about becoming a mother by myself. I worried that my child would someday ask why their father left. But every time I felt afraid, I remembered that I had a choice. I could spend my life waiting for Mason to become the man he promised to be, or I could become strong enough for my child and myself. So I started preparing. I worked extra hours. My mother helped me paint the nursery. My best friend came with me to buy a crib. Slowly, the empty space Mason left behind became smaller. Then when I was 7 months pregnant, Mason called. His name appeared on my phone for the first time in months. My hands shook as I answered. "Hello?" For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then he said, "Ava, I'm sorry." I closed my eyes. He told me he had been scared. He said he had made a mistake. He said he missed me. Then he asked if he could come back. I wanted to scream. I wanted to ask where he had been when I was sick every morning, where he had been when I cried after every doctor appointment, where he had been when I heard our baby's heartbeat for the first time. Instead, I said, "Why now?" He was quiet. Then he admitted the truth. The woman he moved away for had left him. He had thought he could start a new life with her. But when she found out about my pregnancy, she ended the relationship. Suddenly, Mason wanted to come back. Not because he had changed, because he had nowhere else to go. I felt something inside me become clear. For months, I had blamed myself for being abandoned. But hearing his reason made me realize that I was never the problem. He had left because he was selfish, and he returned because he was lonely. I told him, "You don't get to walk away when life becomes difficult and return when it is convenient." He started crying. He said he would do anything, but I had already spent too much time hoping for him. "I hope you become a better person someday," I said. "But you will not do it by breaking my heart again." Then I ended the call. 2 months later, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The moment she was placed in my arms, I cried. She was tiny, warm, and perfect. My mother stood beside me, holding my hand. My best friend brought flowers.